Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Siphumelele Zwendi with your technology and social media news. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, our Twitter poll is looking at Helen Zilla's tweets that say that Twitter has degenerated into a platform that doesn't really have a meaningful conversation. We are asking you if you agree with Helen Zilla's views on this. Results of that are coming up later in the program, but first, here's what's coming up tonight. We're looking at issues that still continue between Huawei and America and find out where Africa is in all of this. We go to the cars.co.za awards. And our conversation is looking at some of the tech issues that President Cyril Ramaphosa spoke about a week ago when he delivered his State of the Nation address. Huawei has said that they are launching a new operating system called Harmony. They're continuing with the deployment of 5G, but their issues with America are not ending. American lawmakers are continuously saying that Huawei launching 5G would then mean that China will have a lot of personal data of companies and people around the world. But where does Africa stand in all of this?
Alleged in this indictment,
the U.S. government has recently added fresh charges to its criminal case against Chinese smartphone maker Huawei. The new accusation charges Huawei Technologies with racketeering as well as conspiring to steal trade secrets from 6 U.S. technology companies in order to grow Huawei. Despite a push from the U.S. government to discredit the Chinese company, Huawei is forging ahead with its 5G rollout plan to bridge the digital divide in Africa.
4G has the advantage of the ecosystem, has the advantage of the popularity, the scale. 5G, of course, has the advantage of better experience and also the high efficiency when it comes to the cost per bit. But for Africa, as I said, right now, this is the time we really expand the 4G. We really expand the experience. We adopt different businesses. There are no barrier about what business can be adopted by 4G. 4G can serve consumers, can serve IoT, can serve good video. 4G can also serve home broadband, which is actually really a key here in Africa. If you look at how many millions of homes that are connected in Africa, 4G will do a good job. And globally, actually 4G has helped connecting more than 100 million families. So think about how many families in Africa are not connected via broadband. So that's what 4G will do, and 5G will continue that mission.
Safaricom, Kenya's biggest telecoms operator, has become one of the companies in Africa that will consider awarding a contract to China's Huawei as its 5G network provider.
I don't think America is going to tell us what Kenya should or should not do. We will use Huawei in 5G, but the question that you're trying to make me, or the answer you're trying to let me give you is what will we do in terms of the American statements about not using Huawei. We don't have that situation in Africa.
But analysts say involving Huawei in Safaricom's 5G network could hamper talks announced this month on a free trade agreement between the US and Kenya. Kenya's stance follows that of Britain, which has defied the United States by granting the Chinese technology firm Huawei a limited role in Britain's 5G network.
And technology changes rapidly. I mean, we talk about 5G, it's going to be here for a period. What is the greater challenge for us is, as the ongoing technological innovations happen and the evolution happens, is that we think a bit more smartly and strategically, the UK, but also I think with our Five Eyes friends and in particular the US, about how we build up a stronger diversification of players in this space, particularly around tech companies that feed into our telecom systems. And that's a challenge we've been very honest about.
The fresh charges of racketeering prove that the U.S. is adamant in discrediting Huawei. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi went as far as accusing China of trying to export digital autocracy through Huawei and said that China was threatening economic retaliation against those who do not adopt their technologies at the Munich Security Conference on 14th February.
The Chinese way. And so
we do know that some of what impresses us with new cars is the technology inside the vehicle and what it can do. That's why producer Sandile Hlangani went to the cars.co.za awards to tell us about some of the technology that made those cars win.
VW was the biggest winner at the 5th annual Cars.co.za Consumer Awards for its ability to put the latest technologies safely at the fingertips of the driver.
People want to be in a car that offers them safety and also infotainment. So the cars that we have, from as a basic as a Polo Vivo up to a Touareg, we do offer that infotainment. So the customers have shown us what they want in a car. So we feel that our cars offer that. And then we're happy with the product line that we have. And then tonight's awards, it's a testimony of what you offer to the consumers. And then the consumers have spoken.
The awards aim to recognize efforts amongst car makers in an increasing technology-driven market.
There's definitely a big focus from our point of view on safety. For example, in the budget car category, we do not consider a car if it doesn't have at least dual airbags or ABS brakes. And for example, in the family cars segments, we will not consider a car if it doesn't have electronic stability control.
A panel of distinguished judges, including TV personality Claire Mawisa and entrepreneur Aluta Makoko, said they considered brands that continue to push innovation.
We sometimes just think that the technology and the safety only applies to the luxury SUV vehicles, right? SUV. But what's amazing now is that even your entry-level cars, your compact cars, your family compact cars, so we're talking about things like the i20, things that you would never expect to have great technology, they now have some technology in them. And I think going forward, people are making technology so affordable, they're putting it in the cars, so everyone gets a sense of luxury and safety, even though it's an entry-level car.
Technology is so important because you need to know that your car has evolved to a place where it can handle the impact and the different changes in the terrain that you're driving on. We don't have the greatest roads in South Africa, so you need to know that your car is able to handle the weight that it's carrying, the load, the number of people in the car, the type of road you're driving on, and all the circumstances around it.
Toyota scooped the two main fine categories, adventure SUV and performance car.
We were really proud of winning both categories, but the one that we're really proud of is the performance car category, in which the Toyota Supra was number one.
17 brands were presented in the list of finalists. VW led the nominations, followed by BMW.
All of our cars are designed to the very, very highest safety standards. And the cars that have won in their categories, the X5 and the X3, those cars are no different.
This year, Cars.co.za Consumer Awards celebrated its 5th year landmark.
Producer Sandile Hlangane played with the new Range Rover Villa. It's a cool SUV, but what is its technology really like?
Today we are here in Lone Mill, Johannesburg, at the Jaguar Land Rover Experience to play with these two beautiful monsters behind me, the Range Rover Villa and the F8 VR.
So the first thing I noticed when I jumped into this car, it's this beautiful, gorgeous, nice touch screen that is just in front of me. So basically everything is just in front of me. And obviously when I get to play around with the screen, there's a lot of amazing technologies that one can use, especially if you are tech savvy. This would work out for you. So one of the things that I like, which connects you to this Range Rover Jaguar ecosystem. It's their navigating system. And number two, there's a thing that they call double RV, which allows you to connect all your devices at once. So what is nice about it is the fact that while you are busy driving and everything is just hands-free. So basically you can just speak to your car while you are driving it. What a lovely driving experience with the team. We had fun, and definitely I'm taking one of these babies home with me today.
After the break, we chat about some of President Cyril Ramaphosa's issues that came out of the State of the Nation address. He spoke about a new university, coding, and a smart city.
The inquest into the death of anti-apartheid activist Dr. Neil Agate will continue the High Court in Johannesburg. Sometimes this graphic testimony that's being given.
I saw him coming with the police, struggling to walk, and he was bending forward like that, almost like he was not able to pick up his body.
Obviously, you can't complain to the person who beats you up. We complain, as you saw, to the doctor, to the magistrate, to whoever else came.
The document referred to by Officer Victor is not an accurate document as published.
We've got more children at bodies laying in the streets than we have adults. And that's the saddest part of it all.
Those people won't get the message that we really want to say enough is enough.
When I took 30K, I wanted to invest it in Forex.
If you're using foreign exchange just to try and make money, you're essentially gambling.
If I had a recipe to constantly make money on every single trade, why would I want to sell that?
The same people who are producing the food, they go and sleep without food.
This guy signed, he produced the fraudulent, the pay slips. This is the ID copy he used. This is not me.
Special assignment, 9:30 on SABC News.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Now, recently, President Cyril Ramaphosa spoke about a new innovation university that will be in Eguruleni in Gauteng. We spoke to some university students about how they feel about the idea of this university.
I get the president's idea to have the youth technologically inclined amidst the fourth industrial revolution. But I feel as though, because I'm thinking now about the high school student now who wants to go into an institution of higher learning, because when they go, they want, at the end of the day, to get jobs. So he was not broad in how exactly this university was going to be. So now I'm thinking of the person now who would have graduated, and now are they going to get jobs? Or will that university force them to be entrepreneurs?
I think it's a great idea because it's going to help us in terms of competitiveness compared to other countries concerning the fourth industrial revolution.
This idea of building science university in South Africa would be a brilliant one, because if, say, they build it, they are going to maybe figure out somewhere, somehow, that they need to build a smart city in South Africa, because we're in desperate need since there are no jobs. I think smart cities, things like smart cities, would introduce some kind of new jobs and all that are going to align with this generation.
Let's now speak to Ibrahim Asmal, who heads up the Luban Labs at the Durban University of Technology, about his thoughts on President Cyril Ramaphosa's plans for a high-tech South Africa. Ibrahim Asmal, thank you very much for being a part of our network. Maybe if you can start by telling us what your thoughts are around the president's plan to make South Africa a high-tech country.
I think it's a great idea. This is something that we definitely need, especially with the high unemployment rate in South Africa. These types of initiatives will help us address especially the unemployment issue. Using technology is going to help or kickstart innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship, which we really, really need.
He's also spoken about a science and innovation university as well.
I think this is a twofold strategy that the government is looking at, because the first thing they're looking at is all the universities to set up entrepreneurship and innovation centers. And the new innovation university will help supplement that, where we'll be developing skills where there's a huge shortage in the marketplace.
Is this not being answered by already existing universities and departments such as your ones?
To a certain extent, yes, but to the majority of the people, we need to take it further. Okay, the more we implement, the more of these types of centers that we have, it will help us really address the shortage, the skills, the unemployment issue much more quicker.
Is there a need for kids to start coding in grade R? Why should a 6-year-old start coding, for example?
The earlier you start them off, they'll be much more tech savvy as they go into the schooling career and when they enter universities, and it will give them great ideas on basically how to innovate, how to be entrepreneurs, and how to address the issues that are going to be facing us in the next 10 to 15 years, because we all know that the job market is going to change, and coding and robotics is going to help the youngsters basically try to acquire these new skills that's going to be needed in the next few years.
Then there's the issue of smart cities.
We have to look at how we implement the city. There's a number of different technologies when we talk about smart cities. So it looks at smart street lighting, smart classrooms, but for all this to work, we're going to need a very high-speed internet infrastructure implemented.
But is there a need to start a smart city from scratch? Should it not be upgrading already existing cities?
I think there will be a debate around that. Starting a new city from scratch requires a lot of resources, but in saying that, with those resources will come a large number of employment opportunities in building the cities, not only in the technology area, but also infrastructure, roads, sewage, etc. Looking at the current cities, yes, our current cities need to be upgraded as well. Looking at Joburg Central, you're looking at Durban, you're looking at Cape Town, whichever city you're looking at, we can implement on a phase-by-phase basis and make them smart as we move along.
The design of our cities is also complex, with the city center and the suburbs having been designed perfectly well, and then there are townships on the periphery. Would it be easy to convert those townships to be smarter as well?
It's not going to be that easy, that's for sure, because people's mindset also need to change. Okay? They need to adopt the technology in order for it to work. Okay, so we're looking at in the townships, we could start off really small, like smart bins. smart lighting in the homes. And we need to show the people that by using technology, they can save time, they can save money, and become more efficient in usage of our natural resources which are being depleted.
Ibrahim Asmal, thank you very much for being a part of our network. This week we spoke to Maskandi musician Mdumazi, who told us about his favorite technology. He really says it's a radio.
I have to know what is happening around the world. So the easiest way to get in contact and know what is happening around me is listening to the radio stations.
Public Protector Mosisiwe Mkhwebane's fitness to hold office is currently under question.
It's about the comments that was made by the court. Istina matter. She didn't investigate that matter at all.
Advocate Tulima Donzela has previously said that she doesn't want Ms. Mkhwebane to be judged on the work that she did. We can't get away from that inevitability, can we?
I mean, I think she's being judged on her performance in office and the number of cases that have been taken on review that she has lost. She keeps challenging and appealing these decisions and keeps losing in all of the courts in the country. And it is on that basis that she's being judged.
She made it possible. I would not have wanted her to be judged that way. Let's be fair to her. Let the process not only be fair, but be seen to be fair. And let her just calm down and chill and allow this process to run its course.
The World Health Organization has urged countries to make preparations to deal with possible cases of the coronavirus.
China's new confirmed infections from the coronavirus outbreak increased by a daily record to top 14,000.
These 213 people have died from the virus in China.
There are now around 17,500 confirmed cases of infections and over 360 deaths.
The mask that you wear that in fact carries the biggest protection you have.
Countries rapidly respond to the virus by shutting down their borders to China.
2,000 people are being kept under observation in Kerala in hospitals and homes.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome back. Now here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the tech space.
World's first robot citizen, popularly known as humanoid robot Sophia, interacted with engineering students in India's eastern Kolkata city on Tuesday, February 18th.
She is here to complement us, but we need to make sure it doesn't go further. We need to make sure in terms of ethics we know how to deal with robots coming in. I heard she had a few siblings in the world, so she's not the only humanoid around here. So think in your own brain today, what does it mean that Sophia is here with us standing?
Sophia was created by Hong Kong-based Hands-On Robotics, uses artificial intelligence to communicate and is equipped with state-of-the-art processes that make her one of the most advanced humanoids. And now in Japan. The Tokyo 1964 Olympics left a lasting legacy in Japan, shaking off a war-ravaged reputation contributing to a building boom. It also provided a catalyst for the nation's high-tech toilets that have heated seats and a nozzle that sprays water to clean the user, complete with heated seats and music to cover up any embarrassing sounds.
大切にすると思います。排泄だけしてそのまますぐに出ればいいだけではなくて。
I think Japanese people treasure the time they spend on the toilet. You don't just use it and leave. How comfortable, efficient and calming the experience is matters. For example, the cleanliness of the toilet seat and of the surrounding area is important. Little details being perfect is desired, and so Japanese toilets are made to answer those needs.
とても作り込まれているので
Heated seats, lids that open and close automatically, bowls that self-deodorize. These features have become standard in tens of millions of Japanese homes since Toto sold its first buttocks cleaning washlet toilet seat at the dawn of the 1980s. And now in France. French Minister of Economy and Finance Bruno Le Maire said on Thursday that China's tech giant Huawei won't be excluded from the country's 5G network rollout, but the government will set restrictions to protect France's sovereignty and address potential security risks.
Recently, Helen Zille said that she was thinking of leaving Twitter. She even opened a new account. She said this is because she feels it's degenerated into a platform for conversations that are not really meaningful for her. So on Twitter this week, we're asking you if you agree with Helen Zille. That's it. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za. On email. Thank you very much for being a part of our network. From me, Spumelele Zondi and the rest of the team, thank you very much for being here tonight. Have a good one. Bye-bye.